I had to say it. I didn't want to say it because this is where it makes me look like a real big hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? Like, I told the guy I was in the KKK, dog. I had to. He wouldn't leave me alone. I didn't want to say it, man. It makes me look like a real big hypocrite because I tag Black Lives Matter in a lot of my posts. I tag Black Caucus. I tag a lot of stuff. And people that are really, really, like, really pro-black. Some of them actually do what I do. Not very often, but they do. They'll like look around to make sure nobody's going to be offended when they say it. But they do. It's use psychology. They'll like pretend to be like, I'm not gonna say a sellout, but like, just like, a shoe, like a openly, happily shoe, like a soup. We call it a zapato, son. A soup. You want to be a soup. So, some people say puppet. I don't even know if those things exist. I don't want to confuse myself. You know what I mean? Children, you know what I mean? They you say puppet all the time. Puppet? It's a puppet? No, we're not talking about those puppets. So, really, like, you think Dave Chappelle, the Chappelle show, like, he did a whole series where he was in a Ku Klux Klan outfit. And because of his ability to make people laugh at something awkward, because you see, this is what you don't really think when you underestimate how smart this guy is. Up until that point, this is the area where black people, when it comes to stand-up comedy, would like not even go there. Like, they wouldn't. Like, the best comedies, you have Bernie Mac, you have Cedric the Entertainer, you have Bruce, you have, Sinbad, Martin Lawrence, all those guys from my era, George Lopez, all those guys, whatever. So Latinos and blacks are prominently known to crack the same kind of jokes because certain things happen to us kind of. Okay? And you crack jokes about how taxi cabs will pass, buses won't stop, certain jokes about the police, and just certain jokes that affect black people, but not all black people, mostly just urban black people that are in the projects, the big cities. This doesn't affect really Main Street black people, like the people that we're not really like, we're not jive, we're not turkey. We're just like Family Matters type of family. Steve Urkel, we got dads that are like Steve Urkel's dad, or our dad is like Uncle Phil in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, or whatever. The list goes on and on. But when it comes to that word, some people are very careful when they say it. Obviously, you should. But if you just say it once, it passes. You know what I mean? Because when you're talking psychology, it really applies, right? Because it has to come out. I'll give you an example. Somebody has to pass through their tract. Okay, their U tract. Like me as a man, if I my diet consists of certain things, gallstone, right? So when it's coming through a man's, body, right, bladder, intestine, and it goes, to the place where everything goes after you go to the bar and you drink and you break the seal. If you realize you immediately have to go to the hospital. Immediately. Because they put you to sleep and they figure out a way to, through a liquid diet, or really it's a needle mostly, I'm thinking, to break it up so it comes out less painfully, so you don't wake up out of anesthesia, and it passes through you while you're under anesthesia, and you wake up if you're lucky. But if you do not call 911 in time, or your phone is dead, or nobody calls for you, nobody hears you screaming, believe it or not, this has been said by a lot of people in the medical field and people who have experienced this. It's not like having a baby, but it's the closest thing that a man will experience to that. It's excruciating pain. So if you're a guy, not in your 40s, if you're a guy at all, go on YouTube or take a class and figure out, what do I do when I have to pass what is called a gallstone? It's a stone, right? It can literally cause you. You're not gonna have a heart attack if you're young, so hopefully this will happen then. But you will have a nervous, like something like a nervous breakdown or a manic episode. Who knows what could happen? Most likely you're gonna injure yourself. You're gonna be rolling on the ground, kicking and punching, and whatever is sharp or hard is gonna hurt you, and you're gonna black out. It's really bad. Fortunately, this never happened to me. But these are a few of my favorite things, if you know what I'm saying. Reverse. The N-word. The word Nazi, the word KKK is very similar to saying AIDS, cancer, tumor. You see how easy it is for me to say that? Because that doesn't affect me, because I don't know anybody right now that affects directly. But somebody, if you say any of those words more than 10 times, their blood pressure is going to go up and they're going to confront you about it. So you say it once, and then you continue to take the conversation to another way, and you become a good conversationalist, right? When somebody gets hit with something that could cause a dark thought to happen, you gotta lighten the mood by talking about something like the good news of Jesus, or it's their birthday. You gotta look on the brighter side. You gotta give them constant reinforcement up. You know what I mean? So this is being a good conversationalist. But listen to what I'm saying about Dave Chappelle. That skit that he did on the Chappelle show when he was in the Klan outfit caused elevation and the IQ of people who weren't interested in psychology when it comes to comedy, right? They implemented it in their jokes. Musicians in the rap industry implemented it in their videos. Movies that were directed by black directors, they would throw it in there. More movies like Django came out. Okay, but even though this was Spike Lee, he's not somebody that told around this stuff. Like he put it right out there. Spike Lee, Hype Williams, the Hughes brothers, these early black directors, and Jenga Stewart, they're like, nah, we're not sugarcoating none of this. We're gonna drive this through you, because this is a Spike Lee joint. When you hit this, you're gonna be enlightened. You're not gonna be high. You're gonna be woke.